The Sunbird convertible, and with its available turbocharged power, it puts a whole new meaning to the phrase of getting a fast tan.
It's easy to fall for the Sunbird convertible's rakish looks. With the top down, it's one of the best looking of Detroit's new wave of convertibles. Like all of GM's soft-top models, the J-Bird is refitted by the American Sunroof Corporation. Their conversions are pretty thorough. The top is all-electric and goes up or down quickly. Since mid-range LE trim is standard, the Sunbird convertible comes nicely appointed. All normal J-Car creature features also available. In every convertible conversion, something has to give. And here Pontiac made the prudent choice of sacrificing both some rear seat and trunk space. I wouldn't want to ride back there for very long, but it is doable. At least you still get enough luggage space for a short trip to the country, and one that will definitely be fast. Because under the Sunbird's hood lies a Brazilian-made 1.8-liter overhead cam Turbo 4 with a brute force of 150 horsepower and a like amount of torque. That's 79% more horsepower and 53% more torque than the normally aspirated motor.
This is the subcompact car from Pontiac called the G3 Wave. It's a 5-door hatchback, and it's basically a rebadged Daewoo from Korea. If you're looking for the Chevy version, it's called the Aveo. GM has certainly given this little Daewoo the Pontiac touch with signature grille and side vents seen on the Pontiac G8. The G3 is sold as a sedan or this 5-door hatch, and the starting price is very attractive at just $13,770. At that price, it competes very well with the Kia Rio, Hyundai Accent, and Toyota Yaris. Just like those cars, the trim levels can ratchet up the price. Our SE version starts at $16,370.
Motor Week is made possible by Lucas Oil, Auto Value and Bumper to Bumper, and TireRack.com.
Styling is without a doubt a major selling point for most car buyers. However, it's what's under the sheet metal that determines if a first-time buyer becomes a long-term customer. Now, General Motors' latest rejuvenated chassis is known as the W-Body. And the first Pontiac built on this new mid-size foundation is the Grand Prix. Yes, the styling is aggressive, but so is what you can't see. In fact, it's the chassis and other hardware that makes the '97 Grand Prix the most exciting GM family series since the Pontiac Hearst SSJ of the early '70s. First off, there's 3 inches of added wheelbase, but also an extra 2 inches of tread width for a return of the true Pontiac wide track. The chassis is stiff and solid. The front end wears familiar.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, I bring you one rather special and very unique treat. A detailed, in-depth look at the 1949 Pontiac Chieftain Deluxe 2-door sedan. And this is going to be a detailed, in-depth view of the Chieftain. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clipping over the performance data, and show you a bunch of the unique aspects of the interior as well as exterior. And I'd like to give a big thanks and special shout out to All City Auto Sales, located in Indian Trail, North Carolina, for allowing me to come out and film this beautiful and unique 1949 Pontiac Chieftain Deluxe. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up, let her run. The exterior color is an original color combination of
We bought it about 2012, set for quite a few years before we really got started on it, unfortunately, but it's been running now for about 2 years. Really, we were looking for the Vega, to tell you the truth, and when we saw this, we thought it was unique. Basically, it's Pontiac's version of the Vega. We bought it as a stock 4-cylinder, complete stock drivetrain. It's evolved into what you see today. We tried to keep the body mostly stock. Really didn't want to vary too much from that. We anticipated when we bought it to make it kind of more of a race car, and every time we see one, it's on the racetrack, and you don't see them on the street anymore. So we kind of changed gears and decided to keep it that way. So we kept everything stock wheel well. We did put a Ford 9-inch under the rear, traction lock, and a 350 gear. We did turbo 350 transmission, healthy 350. It's got the Brodix.
Oh, hi there. Guys up in northern Tennessee working on this 1973 Pontiac Catalina wine mixer. I don't think it's the wine mixer edition, but it's a Pontiac. I'm told it's been off the road no less than 10 years. So we're gonna try to get this thing fired up and drive it 150 miles back home. Seems fine. Nope, definitely not. The most obvious thing to see right away, but I mean, it's pretty solid. Look at all this. You can definitely see that it's been sitting a very long time. So you can see where this tire must leak down. It was rolled back into this bullpen, but these tires are all dry rotted, cracked, or shot. A little bit of rust right there. Nothing terrible. Little spot right there. I could see remnants of a respray. You know, professional paint job. Lost the receipts, most likely.
Fire-breathing, tire-burning highway ripper from Smokey and the Bandit. From its humble pony car origins to the airbrushed phoenix of the 70s to this. What happened? This is everything you need to know to get up to speed on the Pontiac Firebird. Ah! A young Pontiac executive by the name of John DeLorean, yes, that John DeLorean, shoves a honkin' V8 in the mid-size Le Mans, calls it the GTO package, and changes the course of American car history forever. He was like, kids are gonna love this. And he was dead right. DeLorean not only turned Pontiac's boring image completely around overnight, he proved that young people wanted fast cars. Imagine that. Ring, 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 ring. Duh, department. Pontiac was arguably the first to do this exciting car market with the GTO, if you don't count the Oldsmobile Rocket 88. But this muscle party got crowded pretty quick.
A major selling point for most car buyers. However, it's what's under the sheet metal that determines if a first-time buyer becomes a long-term customer. Now, General Motors' latest rejuvenated chassis is known as the W body. And the first Pontiac built on this new mid-size foundation is the Grand Prix. Yes, the styling is aggressive, but so is what you can't see. In fact, it's the chassis and other hardware that makes the '97 Grand Prix the most exciting GM family series since the Pontiac Hearse SSJ of the early '70s. First off, there's 3 inches of added wheelbase, but also an extra 2 inches of tread width for a return of the true Pontiac wide track. The chassis is stiff and solid. The front end wears familiar McPherson struts, though with new lower control arms. Out back, an all-new tri-link design with coil springs replacing last year's fiberglass leaf setup.
Pointing out flaws so you know exactly what you're getting before you get here. So go ahead, hit subscribe, share, hit like, and I'll keep these videos coming your way. You can check out maplemotors.com. We have financing, we have shipping, and we have 100 detailed pictures of every car on the lot. On Mondays, we update with new inventory, usually 8 to 10 cars, but we actually get in 50 to 60 cars a month here. So sit back, relax, it's about that time. Let's go for a ride.